Hey, what's good? It's Brandon C. Kennard, and welcome to what I call a special edition of My Eye on Sports. I call it a special edition because I really didn't plan to come with another video this soon. But when you consider the fact that there have been some things that have gone on in the sports world over the past few days, I felt the need to come on early and just discuss my feelings on some of the things that have occurred over the past few days. So let's get right into it. Another coach in domino in the NBA has fallen with Monty Williams getting fired from the New Orleans Pelicans. I must say, it was a major, major surprise. And I say that because they made the playoffs. And it was said, at least rumored, that Monty Williams was given a mandate that he had to make the playoffs to keep his job. And I felt the team played well enough and they played hard enough for him to where they did make the playoffs. And I thought that would warrant him staying with the Pelicans at least another year. He did have another year on his contract. However, I don't know if things went sour towards the end of the playoff run or if maybe it was the plan all along, but it was definitely a surprise. It's been said and rumored that Dell Demps just wanted to get his own guy. He wants his own guy. And it makes a little bit of sense when you consider the fact that the GM's job is definitely going to be tied to the success or failure of the team going forward. But I felt like Monty was wrongly fired. I think he deserved another year. I do wish him the best, and I want to applaud him for what he brought to the Pelicans, especially this season. They're definitely a team that took some positive steps going in the right direction, and I wish him well and wish him nothing but the best in the future. So what was the reason maybe for his firing? If you dig deep into the situation, I must say I think Anthony Davis had a role in it, and when I say a role in it, I'm not saying he directly got Monty fired. I'm not saying that he marched into the front office and said, "I want Monty gone." I don't think that's what happened. I think he's indirectly responsible for Monty getting fired. When I say indirectly, I mean that the Pelicans, especially Dell Demps, I think he made this move because the Pelicans definitely want to keep Anthony Davis. It was said that right after they were eliminated by Golden State, that they were willing to offer him a 5-year, $140 million contract. That's a max contract. That's the most money that they can offer him. However, Anthony Davis's camp has said he's not going to sign. Quite frankly, he shouldn't sign. He should keep all the leverage that he has in making sure that the Pelicans do the right thing, make positive steps, continue to trend in the right direction going forward, and become a championship contender so that he would want to stay here. So that's why I say he indirectly may have caused Monty Williams to lose his job because Dell Demps just feels like he needs a coach that maybe Anthony Davis can go all in for and that the team can go all in for. And like I said, Dell Demps wants his guy. So like I said, Anthony Davis, I think definitely plays a part in this. And who's going to be that coach that's going to make Anthony Davis decide whether or not he's going to stay long term? Tom Thibodeau's name has been mentioned constantly ever since Monty got fired. Tom Thibodeau is still officially a head coach of the Chicago Bulls, even though they were eliminated from the playoffs, and it said that he won't be back. But as of right now, he has yet to be fired. And it's not even known if Thibodeau wants the Pelicans job. If Thibodeau does take it, I think it would be a good coup for the Pelicans. However, you do wonder if his coaching style is going to blend in with that team. And do you want Anthony Davis playing 46 minutes a night like he's done with his star players in Chicago? I love Thibodeau, but he may want to consider hiring an offensive assistant. The Pelicans are definitely going to have to do their due diligence to find the right guy. This could take days, it could take weeks. Other guys that are available, you have John Calipari. That was Anthony Davis's college coach, and he said to really love Calipari. Until Calipari comes out and says he's not interested, his name is probably going to be mentioned until the Pelicans fill that position. We'll just have to wait and see. Scott Brooks, he's another guy that's available. Scott Brooks did nothing but good things in Oklahoma City. He didn't quite, get to the top of the mountain by winning a championship, but he definitely brought a lot, helped bring a lot of success to Oklahoma City, and maybe his coaching style would definitely blend in with the Pelicans. I think they should definitely give him a look. You have Mike D'Antoni, great offensive mind. Anthony Davis being somewhat of a stretch four could definitely be a guy that can fit into Mike D'Antoni's system. I don't know how much defense he's going to coach the Pelicans. He's not known for being much into defense. But when you consider if they can get maybe him and Thibodeau maybe as the head coach and D'Antoni as the offensive assistant, that would be a dream come true. But that's highly unlikely to happen. D'Antoni is probably going to want the head coaching position, and considering that he's had success in the past in the NBA, I wouldn't blame him. Another name out there, probably on the underrated side, is Alvin Gentry. Alvin Gentry has been around. He's paid his dues as an NBA coach. He's currently an assistant for the Golden State Warriors. I definitely think he's gonna get a look at for NBA coaching jobs after the season is over. So I think the Pelicans definitely should look in his direction as well. Whoever they take, this person is going to be responsible for keeping Anthony Davis in New Orleans, and he's definitely going to determine whether Dell Demps keeps his job in the future, and it could determine the fate of the Pelicans as a whole. So whoever the Pelicans decide to take that head coaching job, I just hope they do their due diligence and find the right guy, because that is so important. This team deserves, the fans deserve to have a team that they can support fully, because New Orleans fans love a winner. They get behind the Saints. They definitely want to get behind the Pelicans, but they just have to make sure that they give the fans what they want. All right, transitioning to the NFL, Tom Brady was suspended 4 games for his alleged role in the Deflategate. I must say, being a Saints fan and still to this day believing that the Saints were wrongly jobbed as a result of Bountygate, I can't say I feel sorry for Tom Brady, but at the same time, I understand what he's going through. Roger Goodell, he's definitely known for having his, being very vindictive and having his ways against certain teams and certain organizations, allegedly. I definitely believe he had it in for the Saints. He made sure that he, buried the Saints with that Bountygate investigation that turned out to be kind of shabby, to say the least. And with Tom Brady, he's assembled a real airtight law team, and they're definitely going for the jugular in this case. I'm not sure Roger Goodell's going to budge in terms of minimizing or throwing out the suspension altogether. This is a situation that might end up having to play out in court. If Tom Brady is able to prove that, hey, maybe I told these guys to deflate the balls a certain way, but I definitely did not tell them to deflate the balls under protocol, maybe he gets off. But Tom Brady, he kind of seemed disingenuous when he gave his press conference when these allegations first came out. The Wells report, I feel, kind of incriminates him, but it does not, I don't think it's definitely 100% foolproof to where the Wells report can definitely incriminate Tom Brady to the point to where that 4-game suspension could hold up in court. It's definitely going to be a situation, I think, that's going to play out over the entire offseason. They may have to go as far as getting an injunction for this whole thing to play out to where Tom Brady is able to play while this legal case goes through the courts. I just want the truth to come out with this. The Patriots have been known for cheating in the past with Spygate. I don't think that deflating the balls necessarily was the reason why the Patriots won games, but I definitely think it gave them somewhat of an advantage. And I guess the Patriots do live by that motto: if you're not cheating, you're not trying. It's just I really hope that the truth comes out, and that going forward that this whole thing can be dusted under the rug, and we can move forward to what I think is going to be an exciting 2015 NFL season. I think that's what every true fan wants. All right, the NBA playoffs. Well, some of my predictions definitely got shot to hell over the past couple days. Start off with the Washington Wizards and Atlanta Hawks. I've been numerously quoted as saying that I just wasn't sold on the Hawks, but the Hawks proved me wrong. They beat the Wizards in 6 games, and I tell you, the Wizards definitely had their chances. They had many opportunities to take control of the series. However, they fell short. When you look at the fact that 3 out of the last 4 games in that series came down to the last possession, and it could have went either way. The Hawks came out on top 2 of those 3 situations, and that was truly the difference in the series. And Atlanta is now in the Eastern Conference Finals. They definitely deserved it. They definitely played hard. They definitely deserve to be where they're at. I felt that they needed to be there anyway, being that they were the number one seed. Maybe they didn't travel the sexy trail that maybe typical number one seeds do, but they eventually did get where they were, where I think they were supposed to be in the first place, being that they were the number one seed, and that's the Eastern Conference Finals. So good luck to them. They're going to be matching up with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Again, I picked the Bulls in that series. I just felt like the Bulls had the better team. And when you consider that Cleveland was without Kevin Love, J.R. Smith was suspended for the first two games, I just felt like that was going to be too much for Cleveland to overcome. And then on top of that, Kyrie Irving got hurt. So I just thought that the Bulls were going to be the superior team. I thought they were going to take care of the Cavaliers in that series, whether it took 6 or 7 games. But the difference in the series, I tell you, well, we knew LeBron was going to be LeBron. I kind of called that LeBron was the sole reason why they were able to win Game 4 in Chicago with that incredible shot that he hit from the corner. But other than that, there were other guys that stepped up for the Cleveland Cavaliers. And I definitely didn't see it coming, but they came out of nowhere, and they really proved to be too much for the Bulls. There were 3 guys in particular that I think that turned that series in the Cavs' favor. Number 1 was J.R. Smith. He came back from a 2-game suspension, and he hit big shot after big shot. And if Cleveland is going to continue to get contributions like that from him, it's gonna be tough to eliminate this Cleveland Cavaliers team. Because like I said, LeBron's going to be LeBron. I think LeBron is a lot more wiser than what he was when he was originally in his original run with Cleveland. I think him going to Miami and playing with guys like Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh really helped him mature. And now I think he's really a true leader with this Cavaliers team. He plays a little bit more under control. He lets the game come to him. He doesn't go out there and force it like he did when I felt like he was originally in his original run with the Cavs. So he's a lot more mature, and he knows how and when to take over a game. But when he gets contributions from guys like J.R. Smith, it makes this Cleveland team that much difficult to stop. Another guy that I felt like really turned the series in the Cavs' favor was Iman Shumpert. This guy played on both ends of the floor. He's another former New York Knick, and he really showed what the Knicks what they were missing. I mean, he played both ends on the court. We already knew he was a great defender, but then he started making big shots, and it was his penetration. He gave the Bulls fits, and I just felt like the Bulls were out of their rhythm because they really did not expect guys like Iman Shumpert to turn in big contributions, but he did, and it turned out to be a big reason why the Cavs won the series. The third guy I thought that really, really, really hurt the Bulls was Tristan Thompson. This guy dominated the boards. I mean, it was like Dennis Rodman-esque. And he really frustrated guys like Joakim Noah, Pau Gasol, and Taj Gibson. He frustrated them to the point to where I almost felt like they almost quit. I mean, Tristan Thompson was dominating the boards. And, when that happens, when one guy can dominate the paint like that, it really demoralizes the team. And I felt like that happened to the Bulls over the latter course of this series. And, I know Pau Gasol was injured. Joakim Noah wasn't 100%. Taj Gibson comes off the bench. But when you think of 3 big guys like that versus one guy, Tristan Thompson really, really elevated his game. And he really frustrated the Bulls. And if those 3 guys that I just mentioned continue to do and perform their roles like they did in this series, Cleveland's going to be tough to stop. I also have to give a shout out to Matthew Dellavedova. I thought he was that kind of irritant that really got the Bulls off their game as well. And he really turned in a big performance in Game 6. And again, if you're going to have role players that are going to step up and make big shots, make big plays, and really have a hand in demoralizing the opposing team, that's huge. And, LeBron's definitely got a cast of guys that are definitely there for him compared to what he had in his original run with Cleveland. So Cleveland's going to be a tough out. Atlanta, I think they're going to pose a threat to Cleveland because they're young, they're athletic. But at the end, I just expect Cleveland to come out and win this series. We'll just see how that series plays out. If I'm not mistaken, it starts the middle of next week, so it should be a good series, a fun series. And if LeBron's able to get to the finals with Cleveland in just his first year back, that could definitely be a storybook ending for his first season coming back. But we'll just have to wait and see. All right, transitioning to the Western Conference. Golden State, as predicted, did take care of the Memphis Grizzlies. I thought it would take 7, but I think you have to give credit to Steve Kerr and his coaching staff. I really felt like after Memphis took control of the series after Game 3 and took a 2-1 lead, I felt like the Steve Kerr and his assistant coaches really solved the puzzle. They really made their adjustments to countering the Grizzlies. And I think after Game 3, after that, Game 4 and on, I felt like Golden State had total control of the series, and they were not going to relinquish it. I think they proved that they're a superior scoring team when they're making shots. They are very tough to stop. And they're a good defensive team in their own right. They started to frustrate Memphis as well. And the bottom line is, if you're not going to score points overall to beat the Golden State Warriors over the course of a 7-game series, you're going to have a tough time eliminating these guys. These guys know how to score. They know how to play. They're the number 1 seed. They have home court advantage. We know how loud it gets in Oracle Arena. It's going to be tough for anybody to go in there and beat the Golden State Warriors in a 7-game series, especially when they're on and making shots. Again, I thought it would go 7, but the Warriors really stepped up their game after falling behind 2-1. I'm going to say congratulations to them. They definitely deserve to be in the Western Conference Finals. Stephen Curry is the MVP. And like I said, they're going to be a tough out going forward, whoever they play in the Western Conference Finals. And speaking of that, there's going to be a Game 7 in this semifinal round between the Clippers and the Rockets. Oh, man, I can't say enough how disappointed I am in the Clippers for the epic fail. I mean, blowing a 19-point lead in the fourth quarter is unbelievable. When you have a team on the ropes, and then you are at home, when you have a team on the ropes like that, you're expected to close it out. I don't know if doubts started to creep in about the history of their franchise, or if they just ran out of gas, or I don't know what the situation was. But you have to finish off a team when you're in that situation. You've given them hope now. The series is tied at 3. It's definitely going to be an exciting game in Houston for Game 7 tomorrow. I'm still going to stick with the Clippers to win the series. However, for that to happen, once again, I think Chris Paul is going to have to step up, and I think he will. The question mark guy is going to be Blake Griffin. Which Blake Griffin is going to show up? I think if he comes out aggressive, I think that bodes well for the Clippers. But if he comes out tentative, it really could be a bad sign. I also think DeAndre Jordan's going to have to put on his big boy pants, and he's going to have to make some free throws. I think Kevin McHale is going to pull out all the stops. He is going to employ that strategy whenever and however he sees fit. So DeAndre Jordan is going to have to be ready to make some free throws in order for the Clippers to win this game. It's a Game 7. It's do or die. So I definitely think that everybody's going to have to step up. Also, you look at the benches of both teams. Which bench is going to be better? The Rockets on paper probably had the better bench, but the Clippers, when they're on, their benches played well. Jamal Crawford definitely can be a guy that can explode for 15 to 20 points off the bench. Also, Austin Rivers. This guy's come out of nowhere. Before this series started, Austin Rivers was just a regular guy, but then he's really stepped up and he's really done great things in this series. Will he do that tomorrow? It remains to be seen. But whichever bench plays better tomorrow, I think is going to be that much more of a catalyst to who pulls out Game 7. Like I said, I'm sticking with the Clippers to win the series, but it can go either way now that the Rockets have so much confidence. And when a team has that much confidence, it's going to be tough to knock them off, especially on their home court. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. Should be a big one. All right, well, that's it for this edition, the special edition of My Eye on Sports. Well, the conference finals will start next week. that'll definitely be in the forefront of what I'm looking at. Also, there'll be other things going on. Mini camps in the NFL, baseball season still going on. College World Series will probably be coming soon. So a lot of things to look forward to. The biggest thing is the NFL 2015 season. That's still a little bit of a ways off, but I'm sure there'll be many things to talk about going forward in the next few weeks. So I just want to thank you guys for viewing. If you can, definitely subscribe. Definitely subscribe so you can keep tab of any new videos that I may come out with. So thanks for tuning in. This is Brandon C. Kennard, My Eye on Sports. Thanks.